On the outskirts of Dubai, the Mohammed bin Rashid solar park is producing clean energy at record low prices. By 2030, this will be the largest single-site solar project anywhere in the world, with total investment set to reach almost $14 billion. The companies building it think this is the future of energy.
You can fix the cost doesn't change. Whereas in the case of fossil fuel-based energy, 75% of the cost is the fuel cost, which is oscillating as the market moves.
According to the International Energy Agency, solar was the largest source of new power last year. It expects that trend to continue until at least 2022. Although renewables are more of a direct threat to coal and gas, the need to invest in these sorts of projects here has been brought into sharp focus in recent years by lower oil prices. The fall in revenue since 2014 has shaken governments here and caused a regional economic slowdown. To try and keep oil prices up, OPEC and Russia recently agreed to extend their output cut through 2018. It aims to cut 1.8 million barrels per day off markets, but analysts say that may not be enough to hold up prices.
Demand this year has been very strong, and particularly in the second half, and that's why, I think it might be the main reason why prices have risen as they have done. But if prices rise much further, that inevitably will choke off demand in 2018.
The other major cloud looming over the deal is growing production out of the United States. Those who follow the market closely say the country shows little sign of slowing down, regardless of what happens elsewhere.
I made a point recently that the US will be the biggest crude oil producer in the next 5 years. I maintain that. They've increased production by 1.3 million barrels a day in the last year alone, when prices weren't as high as they are now. And the whole system is a lot more efficient. They can produce more at lower costs.
The IEA has also highlighted the threat from more US crude, warning that the world will see a surplus of oil in the first half of 2018 because of it.
China's a very key one to watch. Obviously, if there's any significant slowdown in the Chinese economy, or if there's a significant hit to Chinese oil demand from higher prices, those are significant concerns.
OPEC's next major meeting is scheduled for June, when it's expected to announce plans to wind down its supply cut. But with US producers unlikely to roll back their gains, oil markets will be hoping that demand holds up in the year ahead. Otherwise, we could see prices falling once again. Nawija Barkil, TRT World, Dubai.
My colleague Maria Ramos spoke to the director of the Brookings Doha Centre, Tariq Youssef. He thinks that advances in renewable energy are a major threat to oil-producing economies.
I would say of all the shocks that could potentially undermine for a long time to come the fiscal sustainability of countries that rely on oil exports, especially in the Middle East, the advances on the renewables and the declining reliance on fossil fuels is probably the most concerning at this moment. And we're only talking 10 to 20 years away before many capitals around the world start imposing bans on the use of gasoline cars or the likes of.
Really, you see this as the most concerning, the shift from oil to electric?
As a structural change, a structural challenge, this is where the world appears to be moving. Now, yes, countries like India and China are still reliant on fossil fuels and will import enough. But given that this is a global trend, and we've seen oil prices hover at very modest levels right now, with most forecasts suggesting that things will stay where they are, I would be concerned right now from a fiscal sustainability perspective if I were an oil exporter in the Middle East and North Africa region.